Queen Elizabeth II has died, plunging Britain into a period of mourning for the nation's longest reigning monarch. Now the monarch has passed, will Britons have a day off in mourning? Comments. Unavailable Her Majesty, 96, passed away in Balmoral Castle in Scotland on Thursday, September 8. At 6:30 p.m., the royal family announced, the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. Earlier on Thursday, a Buckingham Palace spokesman said, following further evaluation this morning, the Queen's doctors are concerned for Her Majesty's health and have recommended she remain under medical supervision. The Queen remains comfortable and at Balmoral. All the Queen's 4 children, Anne, Charles, now King Charles III, Prince Edward and Prince Andrew, were with Her Majesty at Balmoral Castle. Other royals made the journey up to Scotland to be with the monarch, including Prince Harry and Prince William. The country now enters a period of national mourning, with Britons gathering outside Buckingham Palace in honor of the late monarch. There is no official day off or bank holiday to mark the death of a reigning monarch. Britain will now follow a 10-day national period of mourning, with the Queen's funeral due to take place on the 10th day. There is no obligation for employers to give staff a day off for the funeral, although there will be a nationwide 2-minute silence during the ceremony. Reading Queen or government departments have been instructed to have flags at half-mast within 10 minutes of the Queen's passing being announced, with cabinet members said to be called with the sad news and urged to show discretion. The funeral service will take place at Westminster Abbey, and a 2-minute silence will be held across the UK at noon. A committal service will then be held at St. George's Chapel, which is at Windsor Castle, where the Queen will be buried at King George VI Memorial Chapel. King Charles will also embark on a tour of the UK before the burial is held after Her Majesty passed away. Charles, within 40 minutes of Her Majesty's passing, issued a heartfelt statement. He said, "The death of my beloved mother, Her Majesty the Queen, is a moment of the greatest sadness for me and all members of my family. We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country, the realms and the Commonwealth, and by countless people around the world. During this period of mourning and change, my family and I will be comforted and sustained by our knowledge of the respect and deep affection in which the Queen was so widely held." The 10-day operation is known as Operation Unicorn, which will now come into effect as Her Majesty died in Scotland. While precise details for the operations are unknown, Operation Unicorn is reported to see the Queen's body transported to Edinburgh to rest at the Palace of Holyrood House. Her coffin is then expected to be taken to St. Giles Cathedral in the Scottish capital, and it is expected she would then be placed on the royal train at Waverley Station and transported down to London. Should Operation Unicorn not be possible, Operation Overstudy would see the Queen's coffin transported south via aircraft, where it would be met by the Prime Minister and senior officials. Operation London Bridge was the reported plan should Her Majesty have died in London, and reports say it would see the Prime Minister alerted by a phone call from a civil servant telling him where her London Bridge is down. In the hours after the Queen's death, a call cascade will have taken place informing the Prime Minister, the Cabinet Secretary and a number of the most senior ministers and officials. The Prime Minister will be informed by the Queen's private secretary, who will also tell the Privy Council office, which coordinates government work on behalf of the monarch. Internally, the day will be referred to as D-Day, with each following day leading up to the funeral will be referred to as D-1, D-2 and so on. The royal household will then issue an official notification delivering the news to the public.